Given the clandestine nature of the organisation, it's wonderful that we know anything about Section 31, the special movie event, at all. And what they want us to know is probably what we already know. And as it stands, we don't have a multitronic engrammatic interpreter to figure out what's going on anyway, so we're gonna have to rely on what we've been told. Now, the latest in everything is the teaser that was shown at San Diego Comic-Con 2024. That got a little bit of criticism from viewers who perceived it as not feeling very Star Trek at all. What might serve as a little bit of placating is the knowledge that Olatunde Osunsanmi is going to be directing this long trek, and Craig Sweeney is writing it. Now, both of them have many credits on Star Trek Discovery already. This is a project that's taken quite a while to get off the ground. It started filming in January of 2024 and it wrapped up production there a couple of months ago. It's set to air in 2025, so looking forward to that. We got the big bombshell that a young Rachel Garrett is going to be in it, but details have been thin on the ground to date. This is going to be familiar, but also different take on Trek. You have got grungy, you've got dirty, you've got ragtag, you've got Guardians of the Galaxy on steroids. These are all descriptions that have been leveled against the movie. And whatever else you want to say, this is still Section 31. It could go in directions we've never even thought of. With that in mind, I'm Sean Ferrick for TrekCulture, and here is everything we know about Section 31, the movie. Number 10, the longest trek. For Section 31, this has been in the works for quite a long time. In fact, before Discovery ever came to an end, Michelle Yeoh approached Alex Kurtzman about the potential of doing a spin-off. And as Alex Kurtzman said, it's very hard to say no to Michelle Yeoh. This was first devised as its own series, and in fact, it was January of 2029 via Variety that it was confirmed to be its own standalone series. Script writing had already begun at that stage, and by January of 2020, the GWW confirmed that filming was about to start in May of that year. Then, the strangest thing happened. The schedule got completely thrown out of whack because of COVID, said Alex Kurtzman in 2021. He remained optimistic about a Georgio-centered spin-off, one that at that stage had been foreshadowed by sending the Emperor back in time by Carl in Terra Firma. Time was now the operative word for Section 31. The series was given an in-development label that stayed on it until April of 2023. But with her meteoric rise over the last couple of years, Michelle Yeoh can't be in two places at once, can she? Number 9. And Yeoh shall find. On April 18th, 2023, Section 31 was officially re-announced, this time as a movie as opposed to a series. This came just over a month after that little event in Hollywood, the Academy Awards. Now, she was not beamed off the planet and held against her will. Michelle Yeoh was very much on board. According to Alex Kurtzman in an interview with Variety, the now Oscar-winning Michelle Yeoh was the one who doubled down on making sure Section 31 got greenlit. She was, quote, thrilled to return to the Star Trek family. Before you go calling this Star Trek 14, hold up for a bit, because this is not a sequel to Star Trek Beyond. That's its own list, all on its own right there. Saying that, one of the unnamed alien species from Beyond did make an appearance in the Section 31 teaser. So that's nice. Filming was then rescheduled for late 2023, but this was pushed back by the SAG-AFTRA strikes. It eventually went into production in January of 2024 and finished filming principal photography, in March of 2024. Now, this is set to be a streaming-only movie event, but Cinema Blend's Mick Jost did ask Osunsanmi if this is something that might see benefit from a theatrical release. The response was less than encouraging for those of you hoping for a cinema release of this, but at the same time, this is Section 31. Who knows what's going to happen? Number 8, Red Lady with the blue hair. We jumped straight to full impulse, and that, by the way, is a lot faster than the Enterprise C was in that bloody episode, once we got the news that Rachel Garrett was going to be appearing in this long trek. Inclusion of the previously monster-marooned captain of the Enterprise C, now played by Casey Roll, seems to confirm that this movie will be taking place in the now mislabeled Lost era. Maybe the once was lost but now is found era? Variety's Adam B. Very was the one to break the news, and we broke our composure? Don't know really what to say there. Such was the excitement of knowing that this character was involved. He specified that this was a younger Rachel Garrett, and this is something that we saw in the teaser trailer, that the lady in red was now sporting some nice blue hair, and she was seen at this same swanky establishment as Georgio. Garrett's still Starfleet. Now, she's not a captain yet, but she is tasked with making sure that Section 31 doesn't, murder anyone. She'll have some job ahead of her, as Roll spoke to Mick Jost as well. She's straddling the divide between those two worlds, trying to marry the Starfleet way of doing things and the Section 31 way of doing things, figuring out which rule book is appropriate for which situation. Oh, and by the by, just casually dropped during Josh Horowitz's panel MTV for SDCC, she's Lieutenant Garrett in this long trek. Number 7. Direct from Discovery. Olatunde Osunsanmi's favourite episode of Star Trek is The Chase from the Next Generation. That episode had a profound effect on me as a kid when I was watching it, he told Variety. He must have had some fun on season 5 of Discovery then. He was also an executive producer and has directed 14 episodes of Star Trek Discovery, starting with The Butcher's Knife Cares Not for the Lamb's Cry, and going right up to, fittingly, Life itself. He was also responsible for 2 of the best of the short treks, Calypso and The Girl Who Made the Stars. Section 31 is not a follow-on from the coda at the end of Discovery. Osunsanmi confirmed that it is very much its own standalone property. He told Mick Jost at SDCC, everything that we weren't allowed to do in Discovery, we did in this movie, and it's still Star Trek. The form is the function in Section 31. One thing as well that's very important that's come out is that even though Georgio has a big backstory on Discovery, both Osunsanmi and Craig Sweeney confirmed that you need exactly 0 foreknowledge going into this movie. It is designed for people who've never seen a frame of Star Trek before. And I'm not gonna lie, that fills me both with excitement and a bit of trepidation, because does that mean we will be ignoring XYZ? Or can you just pick it up, plop it down, and if you know your Trek, it'll add to it, and if you don't know your Trek, it won't subtract from it? Who's to say? We'll find out. Number 6. May contain Misfits. Okay, I'm gonna be the first to say, it's a bit rich for Starfleet Command to be calling anyone Misfits, but it was nice and meta putting that title card at the front of the teaser, wasn't it? Now, this is not your regularly schooled Star Trek programming, but as Georgio herself has said on occasion, Misfits have merit. Georgio was featured in the announcement image holding a clapperboard on January 20th of 2024. This was it. We were off to the races. It was time to go. 7 faces for this new crew were then released, including Casey Roll. We had lovely headshots. We had excitement. What we didn't have at the time was a single word of context. But by San Diego Comic-Con in July, we did get a bit more information on what was out there. As one of those faces, Sam Richardson put it to Josh Horowitz, they're 6 of an existing Section 31 team who've maybe done a few missions before. Rachel Garrett is the newest member of that team. She's the official from Starfleet, and they're all tied together by that one character who's trying to fit in across time and space. Omari Hardwick plays Alak Sahar, who is the overseer of this motley crew, in his own words. Humberly Gonzalez is playing the Deltan that we saw in the teaser trailer. Robert Kaczynski is the suited guy charging at the camera. Sven Roygrock is the Vulcan, or maybe Romulan, or maybe even Mentakan, who's in the trailer. We don't know yet. Finally, we've got James Hiroyuki Liao, who gave absolutely nothing away about his character. All we know so far is that he's a broken soul who has hurt people. Now, let's not forget the shapeshifter in the room. Number 5, Choloid comparatives. The second coming of a Choloid might not be a supermodel, by which I mean doesn't currently have the job of. Doesn't mean he's not a supermodel in my eyes, but he is multi-talented, hilarious, and is a lifelong Star Trek fan who grew up wanting to be Geordie LaForge. Quasi is the perfect name for Richardson's morphable incarnation. He's described as the right hand and definitely the brightest member of Alak Sahar's team. Now, old Golden Eyes himself in the teaser was piloting the bumpy and bad broken ship that they've been gifted for their mission in the teaser. He's also a physicist, Richardson revealed, which should make the OG Sulu of the Astrosciences department very happy. We might initially have looked at those golden eyes and thought, ooh, android. But actually, that's not the case at all. As Richardson revealed to Cinema Blend's Mick Jost, he is a Choloid with a bit of a nervous disposition. For the actor, therein lies the opportunity to have some good comedy with this character. Now, we know he's not going to be exactly like Martia, he's not going to kiss Captain Kirk when things get a little bit hairy. Or maybe he will, I don't know, I haven't seen the movie. We can now look forward to seeing what this Section 31 Choloid will do when everything in the galaxy seems to be chucking everything it can right at him. Number 4. Distinctness to our own. Don't get your nanoprobes in a twist. He's not Borg. At least we're pretty sure he's not Borg. I mean, to that point, Robert Kaczynski posted the teaser for Section 31 on his Instagram with the caption, "The ride of a lifetime. No, I'm not Borg." We don't know his name yet, but Kaczynski hardly needs one at the moment to stand out in that rather striking mech suit. He definitely has a distinctness of his very own, and we're already very excited to see what he does in Section 31, but perhaps not quite as excited as another lifelong Trekkie, Kaczynski himself. Another dream job alert. Star Trek is my life. I can pretty much mouth along to every episode of every Trek. He wrote this on Instagram when filming for Section 31 began. There's another character who's not a Borg, but definitely a cyborg. He's got a mechanical mohawk and he's got a very, very intent looking Michelle Yeoh leaning right over him in an image that was released before the teaser trailer. All we know so far is that he's called Data No. He's being played by James Ping. I hope I pronounced that correctly, and not even the Borg Collective has more information than that. Now, I will say that Data No comes from the French for hobby horse with a giant boat. Ah yes, that clears things up. Number 3, I Spy. Oh, canapes. Yeah, canapes. I do hope that the eyeball on a stick that we see Georgio snacking on in the teaser trailer was synthesized, but honestly, this is the same woman who used to farm kelpians for her soup, so really, I don't think she cares very much. It just comes down to how strong are our stomachs. On the surface, this long trek looks to be a case of spy-fi, as Alex Kurtzman put it, and also what Philippa did next. Balancing both of those is going to be a bit of a difficult task because remember, we don't have a series to fill in any of the gaps. We'll only have what's contained within this long trek. We also find out that, remember, Georgio's got previous with this organization before, saying that in the April 2023 re-announcement, Georgio was said to be joining, not rejoining, but joining Section 31. Between semantics and all that, things might just explode. Part of the point of this Section 31 movie, Alex Kurtzman said that this is going to help explain how it's gone from basically the most open secret in Starfleet history in the Discovery era to the shadowy, much less open cabal that we know from Deep Space Nine. Rachel Garrett, in the teaser, sporting Lieutenant's pips, we may add, calls Section 31 a Black Ops division. Now, that's hardly top of the top buried secrets, but maybe it goes away toward explaining how they're getting a little bit shadowier as they go. What's that in the shadows? All right, Luther Sloan, you looking well? Number 2. Where in Sto-vo-kor is Ash Tyler? Yes, we hear you. Ash Tyler, the Vok one, is not dead. Not even by a late 23rd, early 24th century perspective either. He might have to be aged up a little bit, but there's no reason that he wouldn't still be alive by this time period. After some unfortunateness on Kronos in the mid-23rd century, he was recruited by Section 31. By 2258, he was head of the whole organization. Now, the poster child for how not to learn a new language on your summer holidays would have to be aged up a little bit, but where was he at the club? More than just the permanent position post-control of Such Sweet Sorrow Part 2, Tyler was being tasked with a radical overhaul of Section 31, ostensibly to lead to much more transparency. Best of luck with that one. Now, at that stage, the spin-off was still said to be a series, and Shazad Latif, who plays Ash Tyler, himself didn't know what the story was. Michelle is very busy. It depends on her being free, me being free. It depends if I fit into the timeline. We'll know more in a year, as he told the Trekkie girls in July of 2019. At the very least, this movie could address the impact, or lack thereof, that Tyler had on the organization going through the 23rd into the 24th centuries. It could indeed say if he was part of the change that made it into a back alley organization by the mid-2370s. Number 1. I came, I saw, I slayed. As well as rejoining Section 31, Georgio is going to have to face the sins of her past. This was stated in the special movie event announcement of April 2023. For the Terran Emperor, sin is a euphemism. War crimes, terrorist, genocide, being a bit mean to betazoids. Little was beyond her most imperial majesty. You're a tyrant who murdered her own people by the millions. Your past will catch up to you, Omari Hardwick's Alak Sahar says to Georgio in the teaser trailer. That past we are shown in the trailer does seem to be featuring in this movie event as we see a younger Georgio, played by Miku Martineau. Stepping through a pool of blood, we are led to believe, or perhaps infer, that Georgio has had her own family killed, perhaps in a way to stop them getting in her conquistadorial ambitions. Not only for the past, will Georgio keep quiet about what she saw in the future? Later in the teaser trailer, Georgio is handed something that looks like it's ticking. Now, we're a bit beyond Caesar and the Ides of March, but let's be real, Section 31, not the safest place to be in the galaxy. Philippa, Georgio, Augustus, Eoponius, Centarius, her full name if you will, may just have to watch her back if she plans to slay another day. That is everything for our list today, folks. Thank you so much, and thank you so much, Jack Kiley, for putting together this list. You are awesome. You are wonderful. Everyone, look after yourselves till I'm talking to you again. Make sure that you live long and prosper. And as more information on Section 31 comes out, we will bring that to you in as clandestine a way as we possibly can. Until then, make sure that you're subbed. Make sure that you're following us on the various socials. I'm at Sean Ferrick. We're at TrekCulture. You're cool. Look after yourselves, be kind to yourselves, because you know what? You deserve it. And I'll talk to you soon. Thanks very much.